Welcome to Breffni Park in Cavan for the 1999 Senior Football Championship Final, sponsored by the Mediview Inn Bar and Restaurant, the proprietor of that being Declan Sheridan. Today's referee is Brian Crowe. The captains of the teams, Terry Harton and Gabriel Patterson, are down there. Now they move back to their respective teams. Jimmy Galligan and Joe McQuillan are the linesmen. We'll give you a quick check on the teams, and first of all we'll take the Kingscourt team in blue and white down here to our left. In goal, Brendan McCormick. The full back line of Porrick Crosby, Brendan Corcoran and Thomas Wakely. The half line, Kevin Martin, Martin Kelly and Glenn McCormick. Midfield, Gabriel Patterson, their captain, and Gavin Sheenan. The half forwards are Cian Murta, Philip Smith and Shane Russell. And the full forward line, Joe McCarthy, Thomas Malone and Raymond Cunningham. Dressed in green and red, up to our right, the men from Gowna. In goal, Declan O'Reilly. The full back line of Gavin Harton, Bernard Sorahan and Terry Harton, the captain. The half back line, Christy Madden, Caden Brady and Andy Owens. Midfield is Fergal Harton and Dermot McCabe. The half forwards are Declan McCabe, Sean Pearson and Bernard Morris. And the full forward line, Gerard Pearson, Dermot Madden and Damien Fitzpatrick. Now, Peter, very interesting selections.
Especially the Gowna team, when you have Bernard Morris a wing forward and Declan McCabe wing forwards, a very, very strong half forward line. Whether they'll all line out as you've just named them, I probably doubt it. We'll have to wait probably for a few minutes to see what way they sort themselves out.
So the Gowna team in their huddle. Another word from Barney Colley.
We hope that everyone will have an enjoyable game we look forward to, of course, encounter.
We've just been picking up a shot of the cup and, of course, the man of the match trophy as well. Meanwhile, both teams are making their way over towards the far side to line up behind the Kingscourt Brass and Reed Band for the pre-match parade. Peter Riley of Knockbride and Cavan still with me. Peter, where can you see this game being either won or lost?
Oh, well, it's very hard to know before a game will start. Gowna probably will start as favourites to the more experienced team. Kingscourt being a lot younger, but a lot of these boys have won a lot of underage medals and they are excellent footballers. But through experience, you'd expect Gowna to win. But it's a final; you never know how it will pan out. Gowna have two young fellas in the corners. They're two excellent footballers. A big day, you don't know how it'll get to them. They have been vital to their championship campaign throughout the whole year. Have you look at the Kingscourt full forward line? There's a lot of experience in it. Joe McCarthy and Ray Cunningham and Mossy Malone. They're three excellent footballers also. Obviously, whoever gets the scores and goals obviously win championship matches. Maybe the team get the goals will win the game.
Thank you, Peter, as we watch the pre-match parade. The crowd here anticipating a welter of excitement. We also are expecting quite an exciting final. A few minutes ago, I saw Eamon Coleman, a man who jointly led Derry to All-Ireland success a few years ago. He's down there along the sideline. I see Jerry Brady talking to him, and a man with quite a guiding hand indeed when it comes to football wisdom. Having said all that, there's certainly quite an amount of wisdom behind the Kingscourt team as well, both on and off the field. So now as the band leads the teams round in front of the stand, the spectators applauding. Peter, I've seen some of these Kingscourt lads coming through from underage level over the last few seasons. Now, it's senior now, but they know what it's like to win. They've won at juvenile level.
Oh, they have, yeah. These young fellas will not be any wee bit phased at all. They have been here before in championship finals, and they'll not be phased at all to a senior final.
So now for the playing of Ronan Navian. We talked about Kingscourt before the national anthem. These Gowna lads have been together since under 12. They know that pretty well.
Yeah, Gowna are very experienced campaigners. They have won, I don't know, 3 or 4 county finals in the last 10 years. They also have 2 young lads in the corner for bringing them on. They're a very formidable outfit.
So referee Brian Crowe, we wish him well on this last final of the 20th century. Down on the line I see Pat Faulkner. Pat, who would have dearly loved to have been playing in today's final. A man who's given tremendous service to club and county. Pat coming in here to join us in the press box. Pat, you're welcome. We're sorry to see you here. We'd much prefer to see you on the field of play. The final gets underway. It's Gowna with Bernard Morris dropping it in. Dermot McCabe is actually playing in at full forward, where we had sort of anticipated. Right now Cian Murta is in possession. He lays the ball back to Martin Kelly, and Kelly will clear the ball out. Kevin Martin and Damien Fitzpatrick in a tumble and a tangle. Damien Fitzpatrick in need of a little bit of attention down there on the 45-metre line. That's a very early stoppage.
Yeah, he got pulled down by Bronco. He's a young fella, and probably just the way he fell on him, his sore shoulder.
Gowna will get the free. Dermot McCabe looking around. And Dermot McCabe kicking it high and kicking it wide. And one wonders at times, Peter, I know Dermot McCabe is an established free taker at both club and county level, but from that side of the field I often felt, and you're pretty much left-footed, I often felt that a right-footed kick might be more suitable.
Yeah, it might be more suitable, and also probably off the ground, you can have probably a lot more control off the ground, but if you haven't got a free taker to kick them, Dermot McCabe usually is fairly accurate, and it is only one free, and if he does get a chance later on, you'll probably see that he'll kick them.
Of course, for many years, Sean Pearson was the free taker. That's broken out around the middle of the field, and Bernard Morris picking it up. Declan McCabe about to take the free. In now towards Sean Pearson, but Martin Kelly coming across well. Martin now to feed it out. Now breaking away with it there is Shane Russell. Now he was supported in there nicely by Gavin Sheenan. And of course Kevin Martin is always getting involved right now. That's the other wing back, Glenn McCormick, and Gavin Sheenan being awarded the free. The wind seemed to have changed direction somewhat from the previous game and would appear to be blowing towards the scoreboard end as Gavin Sheenan's kick is brought down inside, and it's held back in there now by Gavin Harton. There's a free out and Declan Riley will take it. It's a pretty slow start, Peter.
Yeah, nothing too exciting about it yet. Both teams just take a while to settle down, but it is fairly protesting at this stage.
Of course, it's a big occasion. Out comes the free. That's Declan McCabe who picked it up and laid it back there to Kieran Brady, feeding it out. Now Andy Owens, who is over on the right. Andy Owens left foot in that one right through, but that's very well snuffed out in there. Mossy Malone just shouldered off it, and Gavin Harton to feed it out. Terry Harton to pick it up and to lay it off to Bernard Morris. Fergal Harton on the run down the line. Joe McCarthy and Gabriel Patterson were trying to check his progress. Sean Pearson taps it down, but appeared there to be somewhat obstructed. Somebody along the way must have said something, because the free is now moved in, and one would expect that this would be the opening score of the game from Dermot McCabe. It is.
Yeah, it was a fairly easy chance. Kevin Martin held on to the ball, and he should have probably shown it back. It gave Dermot McCabe a very easy chance right in front of the goals and passing it instead of having to kick him 50 yards.
Brendan Corcoran, of course, has the task of marking Dermot McCabe in there. Dermot is actually playing at corner forward, and out it comes now. Fergal Harton trying to tap it down, but that's very well won and delivered by centre-back Martin Kelly. Up to Thomas Malone, and Mossy will try to get in past Bernard Sorahan, but the ball is fed nicely inside. Shane Russell making good progress for Kingscourt, working his way in. He needs support. He gets the support from Thomas Malone. That's chipped in, and Declan Riley getting a hand to it. It's a 45. That was a nice build-up, but the shot in the end, it was pretty weak. Perhaps there was a scoring chance.
Yeah, it was a good scoring chance, 14 yards out. Not very cute angle. And it was a weak shot, but to have a 50 from it, it may be scored.
Now we'll wait to see. I don't know if there's a problem to Declan Riley or not, but Paddy Brady is going to don the subs goalkeeper's jersey. He's got number 16 at the moment. Now that wasn't listed on the programme as such, but Paddy also an outfield player. Gavin Sheenan drops the ball in, and Bernard Morris grabs it back there, and Bernard Morris clearing it out onto the far side. Declan McCabe, as Glenn McCormick goes out to put in the challenge. The linesman flag is raised over there on the far side. In comes the line ball into Mossy. He tried to lay it off. Kingscourt get the free in. Raymond Cunningham, perhaps the one who's going to be entrusted with the kick. Raymond, who had quite a star performance in the replay of the semi-final. Here he comes with the free. That's over the bar. They're level at a point apiece.
Yeah, it was a handy enough free for Raymond Cunningham, this first free, and it's nice to get a free early on. That's not too difficult, and it proves such from Raymond.
I see Declan Riley looking towards the line. I think he may be giving the signal, or giving some signal. Meanwhile, the referee is going in. And I've got the feeling that Declan Riley will be leaving the action. So Paddy Brady going in. So that was what, less than 8 minutes?
Yeah, Declan must have pulled a muscle when he came out for that last ball. Paddy Brady played in the semi-final, so he did. He has a bit of experience, so, and he has a fair good kick out.
So his first line of duty in this final is to take a kick out. Out it comes, dropping out now. It was Fergal Harton. Nicely claimed by Fergal, who was fouled there by Gabriel Patterson. Gowna with the free, dropping it in towards Dermot McCabe as he knocks it down. Kevin Martin, the ever-alert wing-back, back there to feed it out there to Gabriel Patterson, the Kingscourt captain. Now Martin Kelly. Now Gavin Sheenan. And Gavin drilling it right up there. Lovely tap on from Philip Smith-Tomasi, who's going to pick it up. Now Brian Crowe has spotted an infringement. He's going in there. He's awarding the free, and this should be, from this angle, Kingscourt's lead score, Peter.
Yeah, it was very good refereeing from Brian Crowe. Philip Smith was running through the middle and he was impeded, and it was a free in, and he spotted it.
So it's 2 out of 2 for Raymond Cunningham, and Kingscourt lead by 2 points to 1. We'll check the time on the camera. I think there's probably... I'm not sure if that in my time is much less than the camera time. I think it's about 9. Of course, that time on the camera may be parade time and all, but I think there's about 9 minutes or so. We'll work on until half time as the ball is broken down there, and that's Glenn McCormick, Bernard Sorahan and Thomas Malone, and Malone doing nicely. Another of these great Kingscourt youngsters feeding the ball right into the middle. Now that's floated in. Paddy Brady takes it from Shane Russell's effort, and Paddy Brady looks up, sends the long delivery way down the field. Declan McCabe will allow that to run out over the sideline. Sending it down to Dermot. Dermot will left foot that one inside. But that's good work there from Porrick Crosby, feeding it out to Martin Kelly. Up it comes to Joe McCarthy, but Fergal Harton is there. Fergal Harton for Gowna. Tapping it inside now towards Damien Fitzpatrick. Damien in that is Sean Pearson. Pearson surrounded by Kingscourt players and getting the free in. Gerald Pearson to take the free. Kingscourt lead by 2 points to 1. Gowna have levelled it at 2 points apiece.
Yeah, it was probably a silly free for the Kingscourt player to give away. They had three players surrounding the Gowna man, but they fouled him, and it was a good score from young Pearson to settle him down.
So at 2 points apiece, it's nicely balanced here in this 1999 senior final in Breffni Park as we await the kick out from Brendan McCormick. That will come out towards the middle of the field and well claimed there by Bernard Morris. Bernard trying to lay it back at Brian Crowe blowing up there and calling for the ball. In it goes. Gowna get the free. Declan McCabe hoisting it in high. Nicely won by Porrick Crosby out to Kevin Martin. Kevin Martin working his way up along the line. Well placed inside there now. Gabriel Patterson back to Kevin Martin. Feeding it out. That's good play there from Kingscourt as they pick out their men. Gavin Sheena's kick is half blocked down, but it works nicely for them. Shane Russell dropping it in. Paddy Brady takes it to his chest. That's 2 in a row that's been dropped into the chest of Paddy Brady. Out the field it comes. That's good thinking from Sean Pearson as he lays the ball off. Dermot Madden getting it further in now towards Gerald Pearson and Gerard fouled. Consultation as to who is going to take the free. It's Gerard Pearson who's going to take it. Pretty similar angle to one he scored just a minute or so ago. That's hit well, Peter.
Yeah, another great score from a lad of 17 years of age. It was a great score.
So Gowna lead Kingscourt by 3 points to 2. Brendan McCormick to take the kick out. Great kick out towards the middle of the field. That was nicely picked up by Caden Brady and Fergal Harton to deliver it high in. Feeding in towards Dermot McCabe. It was almost broke there for Gerald Pearson. Porrick Crosby doing very well, but Dermot McCabe going in to pick it up for Gowna. Brendan Corcoran out there with him. That's laid back there now to Dermot Madden, now to Declan McCabe. That's swung away. Bernard Morris has taken up a great position out there on the right. Bernard Morris has missed the target, but he had taken up a good position.
Yeah, he's great at running down on the blind side from midfield position, and for getting goal chances especially, and that was a great example again of that.
So we await the kick out, which Brendan McCormick is now about to take. Nicely out. Now Kingscourt have the chance as Shane Russell will work his way up along their right. Caden Brady watching closely as that ball is swung across. Raymond Cunningham and Terry Harton battling for it. Mossy is out there as well. It's out over the end line and it's gone wide. And it's a kick out for Gowna and for Paddy Brady. We'll stop the watch because Sean Pearson is in need of some attention. I think the word is that if attention has to be given, it will be given outside the sideline. He's fit to continue with Paddy Brady's kick out will drop out around the middle of the field. Well held by Bernard Morris. And Sean Pearson recovered enough to take the free. Inside to Jared Pearson. Porrick Crosby after him. Jared Pearson turning in. Left footing that one inside. And that's gone out over the end line. That was timid enough in the end, Peter.
It was very good mark, and he was put under a lot of pressure when he kicked it. And you have to give credit to Kingscourt defenders.
Porrick Crosby has been doing well at cornerback in this early stages.
He has, yeah. He's won a couple of balls down in his own corner, and then he had to follow young Pearson across the front of the goals, and he defended the situation very well.
How comes the kick out? That's a tap down, and Cian Murta picks it up. That's up along the line. That's out over the line, and Bernard Morris there to pick it up and to take the sideline kick for Gowna. Again, that's well cut out by Kevin Martin, but it breaks. It almost broke for Declan McCabe. The referee going in to award the free to Gowna. Declan McCabe now picking himself up, and Jerry Pearson to take the free. Well, certainly, Peter, the nerves certainly didn't hit this youngster in this final.
No, he's kicked 3 tremendous frees. He's settled down very well, and he's well capable of kicking frees.
So it's 4 points to 2. I make it about 17 minutes played in this first half. As the kick out will come out towards the middle of the field. Bernard Morris winning a lot of ball out there around the middle. Laying it back nicely. That's good blocking down there. But Fergal Harton was back there. Now it's Terry Harton. And Terry Harton to lob it down. Kevin Martin underneath it there. Kevin Martin to lay the ball out. Now it's Gabriel Patterson. Gabriel Patterson to feed it up. Trying to feed Mossy. But it's the decision has gone against him. Meanwhile, down at this other side, the referee wants to have a quick word there to Sean Pearson. Gavin Harton will go back there, I think, to take this Gowna free. Again, it's hit high towards Declan McCabe. Nicely caught there by Declan as Glenn McCormick put in the challenge and the free to Gowna. Nicely drifted out to Jared Pearson from Sean in out to Dermot Madden. Dermot as Thomas Wakely puts in the challenge. And Brian Crowe has awarded the free out to Kingscourt. Porrick Crosby is the one who's, he's going to leave it and let goalkeeper Brendan McCormick take it. Peter, as yet, this game hasn't taken flight.
No, there's no real pattern in the game. Gowna's probably playing a lot of high ball in towards them and McCabe. That time, Sean Pearson head into Jared Pearson and they lost the ball through charging.
Now it's Caden Brady to lay it off, and Andy Owens will drop it out, but Brendan Corcoran now to it, now Glenn McCormick. Glenn McCormick feeding and dicey to Joe McCarthy. Joe, a player who's capable of turning it on. That's going to run on, and Paddy Brady reading the situation well, coming out. That's a well-delivered ball out to Fergal Harton, and Fergal now tapping it into Bernard Morris. Bernard Morris switching it out now towards Damien Fitzpatrick. Damien laying it back to Declan McCabe. Declan McCabe feeding it out, and that's great blocking down for Cian Murta, but just as it was blocked down, Andy Owens was there, but the delivery collected by Gabriel Patterson. Gabriel Patterson's kick coming up. Now players bundling in, but the referee Brian Crowe has awarded the free to Kingscourt. There's one of the Kingscourt players gone down. It was Raymond Cunningham who went down as he made his way in towards the goal, but he's up and he's okay. And Gavin Sheenan preparing to take this free. It's just outside the 45-metre line. The referee was just doing a little bit of noting of numbers in there. So now we're ready for Gavin Sheenan to take the free. That cuts it back to 1. That's well struck from 45 metres.
Yeah, it's a good free, probably against the slight breeze. Maybe the breeze isn't so much as it was in the intermediate match, but it's a great free from 50 yards out.
So we wait the kick out now from goalkeeper Paddy Brady. If we get a chance in a break, we'll pick up a shot of the injured goalkeeper Declan Riley down beside the Gowna dugout. Meanwhile, we'll follow the play as the ball ricochets about, and Kevin doing very well in this first half of this final. Here comes Shane Russell. Shane Russell feeding a high one in. Bernard Sorahan, Paddy Brady has to go back there, and it's the raised arm of umpire Michael Lyons, who will indicate the 45 to Kingscourt. Bernard Sorahan unable to hold it cleanly. Paddy Brady went in after it as well, and between them they knocked it out over the end line. Now if Gavin Sheenan can pop this one over, Peter, it's all square once more.
Yeah, it's a chance again, but 50s aren't really that easy to score. Bernard Sorahan dropped that ball. Probably lucky that Moss Malone didn't nip in and get a goal for him.
That's going to drop inside. It's flisted out over the end line. It probably was the right intention to deflect it in, because deflected balls can go anywhere. That one did go somewhere. It went wide, and Paddy Brady about to take the kick out. That's a good kick out into the centre. That's one for high fielding, but it didn't quite happen. Referee going to throw the ball up between them on the halfway line. Not easy to select two. Declan McCabe feeding it down a little too high for Dermot. Brendan Corcoran not availing of the breaking ball, and Dermot McCabe picking it up and snapping it over. That was a point from almost nothing.
Yeah, it was a ball went in over Dermot's head, and Brendan Corcoran dropped the ball, and you don't drop a ball at Dermot McCabe's feet from that range. He's going to score them.
Certainly, it was instant punishment there for the Kingscourt defence. As we await the kick out. Out it comes once more. Sean Pearson trying to knock it away from Shane Russell. Fergal Harton going in as well. Joe McCarthy is also there. Joe pulling on it. And the referee awarding the free. The free will be from where it landed, up on the 20-metre line, right on the sideline. And a lot of mishandling in there now. It's Cian Murtha. Cian Murtha floating it in. But the effort pretty tame in the end. Now I see some people standing up to my left. I'm not sure what the activity is down there.
No, we don't know. People are looking up. I don't know. There must be something down the far end of the stand.
Well, Gowna forced to make a change. Damien Fitzpatrick has been withdrawn, and Lawrence Brady is in the game. Now Kevin Martin, Gabriel Patterson kick it back down, Gavin Harton into Bernard Morris. Down it goes to Dermot McCabe. Dermot McCabe chipping it on nicely. Gerard Pearson winning it, feeding it inside to Sean. Sean Pearson shot. That's well blocked in there by the goalkeeper, Brendan McCormick. That's a free out. Peter, it was a good move, but it was a great save.
It was a class move and an exceptional save. It was down at the butt of the post and he got his hand down. It was a tremendous save by Brendan McCormick.
You don't make many of them from Sean Pearson. Out comes the kick out. That's Fergal Harton. Laying it back to Lawrence Brady. In out to Dermot Madden. Keaton Brady. Keaton Brady under pressure. Back to Dermot Madden. Cannon's off him. Pulled on there by Gabriel Patterson. First yellow of the game. Gowna 5 points, Kingscourt 3, and we await the kick once again. It's Joe McCarthy who's going to take the kick here on the 45-metre line. Up to Thomas Malone, and Massey now winning quite an amount of possession, turning and sending the ball across into the centre. Gavin Sheehan shot, a great save by Paddy Brady. Paddy picking it up at the second time of asking, trying to feed it out, still has to chase out after it, and Paddy away out of his goal. The referee going over there to blow the whistle. There's a free into Kingscourt. Well, it's happened at both ends, Peter.
Yeah, it was another good save from Paddy Brady. Not a regular goalkeeper, and it was an excellent save, a good shot, and he got down well to it. He probably should have as well kick it out over the line and get away from the danger area.
We await the free. This the chance to cut it back to a 1-point game. It hasn't happened. It's gone across the face of the goal and gone wide. At this stage in the game, well, we're moving pretty close to the half-time whistle, and Gowna, they seem just to be taking that little more advantage of the scoring chances, Peter.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity for economy. It's chances Kingston can't afford to be missing.
Right now the ball is broken down, and Glenn McCormick running on to it. Glenn being chased. Philip Smith will kick it high. That will drop in. Cian Murtagh's racing in underneath it. Cian couldn't quite control it, and it's gone out over the end line. Now that's another chance, Peter.
Yeah, it was a very high ball in, but I don't know, Cian got lost the fly of the ball. And if he had to take that in his chest, as a Kingston man on the edge of the square, all he had to do was flick it across, a goal chance.
As yet, it's a final without a pattern as such. We hope that it will open up into a welter of excitement in the second half. Martin Kelly doing well, getting up to Shane Russell. Shane again trying to feed it up, and that time the decision going against Massey as Bernard Sorahan goes to collect the ball. Gavin Harton down to Lawrence Brady. Again, Kevin Martin doing well. Gabriel Patterson near the sideline. Lays it back there now to Martin Kelly. Martin Kelly playing it in towards the middle. A foul on Gavin Sheenan as Bernard Barras came in. A cross-field ball to Glenn McCormick. Off for Thomas Wakely. Thomas Wakely now moving upfield with it. Declan McCabe with the challenge. Again, it's Glenn McCormick. Glenn working his way forward. Free in. That's a very, very scoreable position, Peter.
It is. Very surprised let the Kingston men run through like that. Gowna, there was a few men around him there and they let him through very easily, and he should have been probably stopped out the field, probably without even fouling him.
My watch tells me that we've moved into stoppage time at the end of this first half. This should cut it back to a 1-point game. I said that a little earlier, but this is a much more scoreable angle. Here comes the shot. There goes the point. There's just one between them, and the half-time break can't be far away.
No, Kingscourt is playing a lot more football now in the last 10 minutes. They're getting all the balls around midfield. Kingscourt probably could be another two or 3 points there in the end of the first half. It's just Brian Crowe blows the final whistle.
So Brian Crowe has called it half-time here in Breffni Park. In this game, I see that Pat Faulkner, who is beside us here in the press box during that first half, has made his way down towards the dressing room, and as our cameraman Tommy Riley will pick up some faces in the crowd right now, picking up the players heading towards the dressing room for their half-time break and their half-time talk. I'll take my leave of you and come back with the commentary of the second half and with Peter Riley's analysis. Second half gets underway, and it's Fergal Harton of Gowna laying it back to Bernard Morris. 1 point separating the sides halfway through this 99 final as Thomas Wakely goes out there with Dermot Madden. The ball goes out over the sideline. Lawrence Brady to take the sideline kick for Gowna. He'll float that one in high and very high. That's well boxed away there now by Brendan Corcoran. Out to Gavin Sheenan. Gavin Sheenan for Kingscourt. Bernard Morris coming in for Gowna. Sending it inside, held well in there now by Brendan McCormick. Gets it out to Porty Crosby. Further out now to Joe McCarthy. McCarthy, well, aimlessly down where Fergal Harton picks it up, sending it back in there once more, dropping right down there now, and Brendan McCormick to pick it up, to get it out to Brendan Corcoran, and Brendan Corcoran tackled as he tries to come out, still in possession. Manages to get it out and take the return from Joe McCarthy. Now to Thomas Wakely. Now to Gavin Sheenan. And Gavin Harton is back there. Kieran Brady is there to support. Bernard Morris likewise. And Bernard Morris for Gowna. Right up through the middle. Sean Pearson not happy. Martin Kelly happy to take the free. Gabriel Patterson is bundled over by Fergal Harton, and there's a free to Kingscourt. Gabriel Patterson takes it. Way down there towards Philip Smith. Doesn't quite hold on to it. Bernard Morris is back there. Bernard Morris to Terry Harton. Terry Harton jabbing it out to Lawrence Brady. Lawrence Brady for Gowna. Out to Dermot McCabe. Brendan Corcoran out there with him. McCabe now has the kick blocked down, but somehow manages to hold on to possession. Dermot Madden whistled for charging, and the free to Kingscourt. Peter, this second half is just over 2 minutes old, and we still haven't seen the game open up.
No, it's still a tight enough game. That's twice now Dermot Madden's after been done for for charging. It's a thing you don't really want.
Bernard Morris has won a lot of possession out around the middle of the field. That's fed in nicely. Now Martin Kelly. Martin has been mopping up well the Kingscourt centre half. Now I think Fergal Harton's going to be spoken to for that, as Gabriel Patterson coming across, but fair play to Gabriel Patterson. Many a player would have went down and made a meal of it.
Yeah, many players would, and we've possibly seen an instant and in the media final he just got up and got on with it.
Sign of a good honest player. Joe McCarthy to Raymond Cunningham. Cunningham now working his way down the line, still trying to get down the line. Across in the middle, Shane Russell being chased, being fouled by Gavin Harton. The free to Kingscourt. Gavin Sheenan to take the free. That's gone to the left and gone wide. The early stages of the second half, I think Kingscourt would certainly have liked to get that one over.
Yeah, it would have been a nice score from the get after a wee bit of dominance by Gowna in the early stages, and it was a good enough chance.
So Paddy Brady to take the kick out. Bernard Morris again after it, and Bernard getting support. Dermot Madden, who's playing a very deep role now. Andy Owens will boot that one up high. Who will it come down for? Fergal Harton is the one to pick it up. Fergal Harton will try to dive it in to Jared Pearson. Handled on the ground. Free out quickly taken. Comes out to Glenn McCormick. Glenn McCormick feeding it down now to Cian Murtagh. Fergal Harton back to challenge as Cian Murtagh sends it forward to Shane Russell. Shane Russell being chased by Gavin Harton. Still Shane Russell going in, and the ball coming off the upright, but the referee had already blown up the play. There was a little bit of holding there. This surely should be the equaliser.
Yeah, I'd say it will, but it was a goal opportunity. Brian Crowe did very well, I suppose. He let him have the advantage, and yet when the chance was gone, he gave him the free, which I think is very good refereeing.
So Raymond Cunningham to try and level up the match with just over 5 minutes played in the second half. It's 5 points apiece.
Yeah, Kingscourt are fully deserved to be still in level terms. It's a very close match. It's anyone's game. It's whoever over the next 20 minutes or so can rattle up a few scores.
So Paddy Brady to kick out from the 20-metre line. Down here, slightly to my left with the red cap, I see Sean Kelly, the Kingscourt manager. Also there is a man who's given great service to club and county for many years, Michael Faulkner. Ball punched down around the middle of the field. Fergal Harton back there to collect for Gowna. Fergal trying to break away. Booting that one through. Porrick Crosby will be happy to see that roll out over the end line. A lot of aimless ball sent in to the full forward line.
Yeah, Darren McCabe is out a lot deeper. I don't know if that's a good enough play for Gowna. I think he's still very much a threat in at the full forward line, and a ball like that, he will probably pick them up.
A lot of crowding around the middle of the field. Fergal Harton letting that one slip through his fingers, but had the time and space to readjust and get it. Kevin Martin for Kingscourt. Lawrence Brady into challenge. Ball near the sideline. Ball out over the sideline. Kevin Martin to take the sideline kick. Cian Murtha was calling for it. That's much too strong for the man who was calling for it, and Bernard Morris of Gowna is there to pick it up. Bernard brought to the ground on the free out to the Gowna men. Up to Dermot McCabe. Feeding up now to Gerard Pearson. Porrick Crosby will put in the challenge as Pearson tries to jink his way through. He's brought down. That will be a yellow. Now this the chance for Gowna to go back in front. But Gerard Pearson, the young legs there, I know there's a young defender on him, but that looked threatening.
Yeah, if he had to get it, Porrick Crosby had him pull him down, I'd say it was a great chance for a goal, and he probably had no option, and he took the lesser of two evils and a yellow card and possibly a point.
A point it is from the boot of Gerard Pearson. Meanwhile, Fergal Harton is being attended to. But Fergal, I think, will soon be up and on his feet and taking up his midfield position for this kick out, which will come from Brendan McCormick. Out towards the middle as it's knocked down, and the aforementioned Fergal Harton, the kick half blocked down, but Dermot Madden lays it back to Declan McCabe. Declan McCabe will feed it into Gerard Pearson. Pearson to try to turn Wakely. It's for the moment Martin Kelly with things in control. Kevin Martin having some difficulty. Sean Pearson back to Gerard Pearson, and it's over the bar. So that's two in quick succession there from the Gowna men.
Yeah, it's a point given away. Kevin Martin should have got that towed up, and instead it broke away from him, and the Gowna got the point from it. It was a score given away more so than a point taken.
Andy Owens in need of some attention. Like I mentioned, Peter, a lot of crowding out around the midfield area will be very difficult for any clean fielding or anyone to break away with it.
Yeah, it's a sport like the Mead Armagh semi-final where both teams want to leave inside space for both teams, and obviously then your space is limited around the middle.
Bernard Morris taking up a position there back behind the 45-metre line, but Kevin Martin to Martin Kelly, and Martin Kelly now to feed it down to Philip Smith. Philip Smith will try to break away from Christy Madden. Now Fergal Harton is going in there as well. Philip Smith's kick is dropping inside. Bernard Sorahan couldn't collect it, but Gavin Harton was there to lend his support. Paddy Brady will take the free out. Just over 10 minutes played in this second half. And Kingscourt with Brendan Corcoran will return it. Christy Madden couldn't hold on to it, so Raymond Cunningham picking it up for Kingscourt. Terry Harton out there to try to put in the challenge. Cunningham still in possession, going for the shot. That's curling in, but the umpire signalling that it had gone wide. That was pretty close, Peter.
Yeah, from where he was sitting, I would have probably given that point, but the umpire had a great view right behind the post. He's probably right. It was very touch and go. Showing great bit of class, Raymond Cunningham there and getting the space. It was just unfortunate it was width of the post wide, probably.
From our angle here, it's difficult to know when it's certainly in line with the black tip of the post as to know whether the ball is going in or around it. The umpire in a good position. Out it comes. Certainly nobody contested his decision. Here comes Martin Kelly, and Martin Kelly will drop the ball inside. That's jutted out now. Comes out to Andy Owens, to Bernard Morris. Morris selling the dummy to Joe McCarthy. Brendan Corcoran will chase back to pick that one up for Kingscourt. Dermot McCabe will put in the challenge. Across it comes to Martin Kelly. And Martin feeding it down now to Shane Russell. Gavin Harton will challenge him as Shane Russell carried the ball out over the sideline. Now, during the course of the game, I've been watching the Kingscourt centre-back, Martin Kelly. Not the tallest of centre-backs, but Peter, he's a great game reader.
Yeah, he's sweeping up an awful lot of ball, just purely, as you said, from his reading of the game.
Thomas Wakely should collect and does collect that, and gets it out now to Gabriel Patterson. The Gary Owen type kick, well cradled by Terry Harton. Lays it back to Dermot Madden, to Bernard Morris. Laying it off out there now for Lawrence Brady. Lawrence Brady to thump it forward. I noticed that Padraig Crosby has gone across. Jared Pearson got a block on it. Thomas Wakely was there as well. Martin Kelly is also in there foraging. Thomas Wakely picks it up, but the referee had already blown the whistle and awarding the free to Kingscourt. Across field now to Glenn McCormick. It's 7-5 with 13 minutes played in the second half. Gowna lead Kingscourt. Down the line towards Philip Smith. Philip Smith knocking it on. Dermot Madden calling. He says, I'll same that one. Now Andy Owens to Bernard Morris to Christy Madden. Back to Dermot Madden. High up into the centre. Players bunching and it's knocked nicely down to Terry Harton. Terry will try to drill it to the Jared Pearson. Pearson, the youngster doing well. Laying it off for the not-so-young Sean. And Sean across there to Dermot McCabe. McCabe turning onto the left foot. That was good football.
Yeah, probably the best score in the game. It was young Pearson won, which wasn't a great ball. Crosby was really up behind him, and he won it well, laid it off, and Sean Pearson picked out McCabe, and McCabe scored it.
Joe Dillon is in the game for Kingscourt. Joe, who's turned many a game round for the Stars. Gone off as the captain, Gabriel Patterson. And Joe Dillon winning the free there. Joe McCarthy going to take it.
Substitution, team 14, number 16, Joe Dillon, replacing number 8, Gabriel Patterson.
That's fed out to Thomas Malone. Mossy collecting nicely, feeding the ball inside. That's a great run from wingback Kevin Martin. Play on as Joe McCarthy lays it right across. And Dermot Madden back in his own small square, feeding the ball out. Now Christy Madden jutting it forward. Out it comes to Declan McCabe. Declan McCabe, once again he feeds it up towards Sean Pearson. A push in the back on Sean Pearson. Down on the line, Eamon Coleman and Timmy Fitzpatrick dishing out the instructions as Jared Pearson wins that one. Thomas Wakely into challenge. That's knocked out over the sideline. A Gowna line ball. They lead by 8 points to 5. We're halfway through this second half. Desi Brady is doing some stretching down there on the line and might be thinking of coming into the game for Gowna. Meanwhile, from between the 20 and 13 metre line, Dermot McCabe prepares to take the kick. He jabs it back to Kieran Brady, into Dermot McCabe. Now it'll come left-footed, swing out to the left and go wide. Now that was a good scoring chance that went to begging.
It was, but it was very slack on Kingspan Park to let them have that opportunity. Dermot McCabe got bringing the ball in on 20 yards over that, and he should have scored it, well himself.
Beneath us in the stand, the victorious Ballymacue team are making their way towards the exits. They're being congratulated as they make their way. We come back to the senior final, and that's well held by Joe McCarthy. Back now to Glenn McCormick. Glenn McCormick feeding it out to Shane Russell. Shane Russell for Kingscourt, trying to work his way forward. Shane Russell dropping that one in. Dermot Madden is back there once more. Terry Harton laying it back, and Gavin Harton to send a high one. There's two players down. There's two players in need of attention. Immediately, Brian Crowe calls on the physios of both sides. Now, it takes quite a bit to put Bernard Morris down. It takes more to keep him down. Right now he's staying down. I think it could be Shane Russell, Peter. We'll take a close look at the monitor. It's much better than looking out that distance at it with the naked eye.
Yeah, I think it is Shane Russell. Both of them, it was a high ball, and there's a few players arming up for it. And between the to and fro, and Bernard and Shane Russell came out the worst of it.
So both the number 12s are back on their feet. Maybe feeling a little bit groggy, but two men of great heart. A word in there now from Eamon Coleman to Dermot Madden. The game about to recommence. As Brian Crowe restarts the watch and the game. That is Cian Murtha. Cian dropping it in. Bernard Sorahan and Massey Malone. That is Massey who picks it up, trying to get away from Kieran Brady and Bernard Sorahan. Still Thomas Malone into Cian Murtha, back to Thomas Malone, handled on the ground. We have moved into the final quarter. 3 points between them. Kieran Brady's kick. Sean Pearson. Sean couldn't hold it. Porrick Crosby will go back there. Tackled by Declan McCabe. Still Porrick Crosby lays the ball back to Thomas Wakely. And Thomas Wakely's kick is heading for the sideline. That perhaps, Peter, was a ball that should have been either played short to a colleague in space or right down the middle.
Yeah, I think he was trying to pick out Martin Kelly out on the wing, but it just screwed off his foot and went out. But I don't believe he just tried to kick it over the end line.
Fergal Harton has made a great run. Dermot McCabe's kick is pretty strong, but Fergal keeping it in, trying to work his way in past Joe Dillon. Still Fergal Harton back to Sean Pearson. Sean Pearson with the kick. Now, Sean Pearson has always, down the years, been capable of snapping over points like that. That's a couple in this second half.
Yeah, Pearson very active in that sort of range, and he not missed too many points in that range.
Here comes Desi Brady. So that's Gowna's final substitution now. 3 Bradys they've had to introduce into the game. That's well held by Joe McCarthy. Laying it off now. Martin Kelly going forward. Martin Kelly inside Terry Harton and Gavin Harton between them. Gavin Harton out to Bernard Morris. Bernard Morris coming forward with it. 19 minutes I make it played. It comes up to Sean Pearson. And Sean collecting. The call was from Desi. Always a player of great vision. Desi Brady doing well. Still Desi Brady. Still Desi Brady going. He's stopped in there now by Glenn McCormick. Brian Crowe has blown the whistle. The free out comes out to Porrick Crosby. Now it's Joe McCarthy. Joe McCarthy way down the field it goes. Christy Madden missing out. Philip Smith rolling it inside. Shane Russell for Kingscourt. Gavin Harton is after him. The shot from Shane Russell. A goal! They're level. They're not. There's a point in it.
Yeah, it looped in over Paddy Brady's head. It's something Kingscourt badly needed, and it has come a great goal by Shane Russell.
Just before that, Desi Brady had threatened for Gowna.
Desi probably, and they will look back now and say he should have tipped it over the bar. It would have been 5 points match. Now it's only a 1 point match.
So it's 9 to Gowna. It's 1-5 to Kingscourt. There's about 10 minutes left in the game. We were hoping for a football bonanza, but a final is always a tense and tight occasion. Here comes the kick out from Paddy Brady. That's Martin Kelly. Brian Crowe is calling for it. Lawrence Brady juggling with it. A free to Kingscourt. One wonders which team will respond to that Kingscourt goal the better. Joe McCarthy's kick. Philip Smith and Christy Madden going for it, but it's gone out over the line. It's a Gowna line ball. Way down here, to our left. Just a couple of little minor off the ball incidents, nothing serious. As Andy Ohms prepares to take the kick. Up the line, Joe Dillon underneath it, but didn't hold on to it. Brendan Corcoran defeated out to Cian Murtha. Cian Murtha to jab it on for Philip Smith. But that's well covered across there now. Christy Madden's and to Bernard Morris, and then Joe McCarthy nipping in. Now it's Shane Russell, scorer of the Kingscourt goal, out to Massey. Kingscourt coming looking for the equaliser. That took a deflection, did it? I thought it may have took a deflection on the way, Peter.
No, it took a wide of his own accord. It was a fair bit distance out again, but Kingscourt have come into the game since that goal and Gowna haven't got up the field.
The breeze seems to be whipping up a little, but it's more of a crossfield wind, not really an advantage to anybody.
No, it's not really advantageous to anybody at this stage.
Out comes the kick. Again, a lot of jumping. Desi Brady. Desi trying to get away is held. Thomas Wakely saw what was happening there, gets it down to Martin Kelly, back to Thomas Wakely. In now to Gavin Sheenan, couldn't quite control it the first attempt. Surrounded and fouled by Gowna players. Cunningham with the free to Philip Smith. Philip Smith to loop it inside to Shane Russell. Shane Russell coming in, still Shane Russell. Clay Owens at the referee, back to Massey. Massey with the shot. They're level. 9-1-6. I make it, there's about 6.5 minutes to go. It'll be 6.5 very interesting ones, Peter.
Well, yeah, Gowna have let Kingscourt back into this game. Kingscourt starting to dominate around the middle of the field. Gowna really wants some of the bigger players now to take the game by the scruff of the neck and pull this out for them, because at this stage you'd have to fancy Kingscourt doing all the running.
As Peter says, Kingscourt getting on top in this second half. Indeed, Peter, the next score in this game could well decide the destination of the trophy.
Yeah, it'll be a fairly good boost to whoever gets it. If Kingscourt gets it, it'll keep them on that run, and if Gowna gets it, it will get them back from their point of view on a run also. Gavin Harton is down on the corner. He will be a loss. He probably twisted his knee or something, we don't know. But whoever gets in this goal will be fairly important to them.
Gavin Harton is going, and with 3 substitutions already made, Peter. We've said that Paddy Brady came on early on, and then Lawrence Brady and Desi Brady came, so Gowna are down to 14 at the moment. Out comes the kick towards the middle. Kevin Martin for Kingscourt. To Raymond Cunningham. To Martin Kelly. Kelly going forward. Oh, that's a way out to the right. That's gone wide. That would have been a huge lift for Kingscourt if Kelly had sent that one over.
It would. Probably the better option would be sending in the Shane Russell. He's really on fire in there on the full forward line. He's gained 3 or 4 balls that has gone into him since he moved in there, and the best option probably from Kingscourt point of view is get in on top of him.
Kingscourt look to have to finish this game with 14, Peter. It doesn't look good for Gavin Harton. So Kingscourt now with Mickey Faulkner and Sean Kelly doing some reorganising themselves, how to have the best effect out of the spare man. Terry Harton of Gowna picking it up, laying it back to Bernard Morris. Bernard Morris's way is partially blocked. He's coming forward with it. Up the field it goes to Gerard Pearson. Gerard being chased by Thomas Wakely. Still Gerard Pearson. That's a very wayward shot from Gerard Pearson. That's gone out over the end line. Both sides guilty of chances in the last minute or so.
Yeah, again, Sean Pearson was inside him. He rushed a shot. He was under a lot of pressure kicking it. Probably better off just passed off to Sean Pearson, and he wouldn't have been under as much pressure.
Either that or carry it and look for the free, but it's easy for us to talk up here. It's tough down there on the field of play. As Brendan McCormick's kick comes out towards the middle, Dermot McCabe got one hand to it. Glenn McCormick getting his 2 round it. Glenn McCormick for Kingscourt into Thomas Malone. Mossy back to Joe Dillon. Joe Dillon will send that one in. Shane Russell, that's gone out over the sideline. Line ball quickly taken into Bernard Morris. Up to Dermot Madden. A crossfield ball to Christie. Christie Madden lays it off for Lawrence Brady. Now they've got to carry it, they've got to run it. Here comes Desi Brady. Desi looking to see is there anybody available. He'll have to hold on for the moment. That he does. Now coming in support was Fergal Harton. Trying to lay it back for Andy Owens. Andy the halfback. There's a free to Gowna. I make it that there's about 3 minutes to go. That time may not be accurate. Tommy, since the half commenced, it must be pretty much on the 30. 29 since the half commenced. My watch tells me we're ticking over on 27 because I did stop it on a few occasions. Dermot McCabe. All in Gowna are willing you to do something special with that one, but you didn't. It's gone to the left and it's gone wide. That a bad miss.
Yeah, it was a bad miss from 35 yards out from Dermot McCabe. You would expect him to score, but that's the way it goes. Now everyone's going to go over the bar.
Out comes the kick out. That's Dermot McCabe in possession. Dermot will feed it on. Now Desi Brady. Desi trying to work his way. Still Desi Brady. Carrying the ball across. Now Lawrence. Lays it off. Terry Harton comes up. The Gowna captain. That's over the bar from Terry Harton, the Gowna captain. The forwards couldn't do it. The cornerback came up and did.
Yeah, it was well worked up the field by them, and the left foot kicker come on lovely to it, and it was a great score.
Can Kingscourt reply to that? Is there going to be a winner here today, or is there going to be another day? Fergal Harton in to Gerald Pearson. Pearson confronted by Thomas Wakely. It's still they're battling for it, and it's Pearson to Desi. A free in to Gowna. Time is ticking away. There's people starting to move out. I'd advise them not to move yet. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. There's a point between them. After this Dermot McCabe kick, there could be two. There is two as Dermot McCabe sends it over. And we await the kick out. 11-1-6 or 11-9. My watch tells me we're ticking towards 30 minutes. Brian Crowe looks at his as Martin Kelly sends the ball to Porrick Crosby. Is there another goal in Kingscourt? It's possession by Dermot McCabe of Gowna. Dermot laying it back. Andy owns. There's plenty of Kingscourt men there for that one. Porrick Crosby is one of them. Crosby going forward. Here comes Kevin Martin. He'll lob it in. Paddy Brady is there to get it. And Paddy Brady, will he go for the safety of the sideline? Lawrence Brady will keep it in play. No, he doesn't. It's gone out. Sean McGahern not happy over there on the far side. The line ball is to Kingscourt. My time tells me that we're in added time. The scoreboard tells me that Gowna have 11, Kingscourt have a goal and 6. There's a free to Kingscourt. Raymond Cunningham to Philip Smith. He'll lob it in. That's dropping in high. Held by Dermot McCabe. And Dermot to boot it out. Another free to Kingscourt. That's sent right across the middle. Shane Russell. His way is blocked. There's a free in to Kingscourt. 31 minutes on my watch and a yellow card being dished out down there. To whom I'm not so sure, but from this it's going to have to be blasting operations, Peter.
I think so. They have to get a goal and there's no other way further than have a blast for it.
2 weeks ago in Carrick and Shannon in the Leitrim final, a goal in injury time won it for Duncarman and Hamilton. What is going to happen here? Raymond Cunningham chips it over the bar. It's a 1-point game, 11-1-7. What time is left? Brian Crowe checks his watches. Indicating to the goalkeeper to take the kick out. There were quite an amount of stoppages through that second half. Out comes the kick. We'll wait for see who gets possession. It's Kevin Martin. Now it's Glenn McCormick. Now it's Porrick Crosby. The chance is there for Kingscourt to get another day out of it at least. Here comes Raymond Cunningham. Oh, that's given away. Fergal Harton's kick. The free will be from where the ball landed, I think. That's the signal from the referee. It's all over. Gowna by a single solitary point. 11 points to Kingscourt's 1 goal and 7. Peter, it was a titanic struggle.
Yeah, it was a good old match. Any game that stood in close is always very enjoyable. And Gowna showed with a little bit of experience they have, brought through them on the day. They kicked over their few points. Kingscourt there at the very end had their chance, but that's the way it goes. They're a very young team, and no doubt they'll be back.
Thank you very much, Peter Riley from Knockbride, for your expert analysis right through the 2 games here today in Breffni Park.
Final of Kingscourt Division 2 minor championship at 3:40. People doing at 5 o'clock. been handed in here, the owner can come up and claim it. There's a student identity card with it. It's Maeve Harrington. If she's still on the ground, she can claim her post up here.
Ronan, Dr. Dolly, Vineyard. First of all, on behalf of the board, I want to congratulate both teams here today, Kingscourt and Gowna, and giving us a very fine exhibition in this country final. Both these teams have come through this final. They're here on the record, and I want to congratulate them on today's final. My congratulations to Gowna on once again winning the 1999 Senior Championship Cup. My commiserations to Kingscourt, hard luck to them, and no doubt about it, they will come again in the years ahead. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of Cavan County Board to extend a very hearty welcome to the President-elect of the DA, John McKay, a neighbour of County Monaghan, and we wish him well in the years ahead. As we look on the Commonwealth Pathway over the next 3 years. So, without further ado, I will now present the 1999 Senior Championship Cup to the captain of the Gowna team, Terry Harton. Reverend Collins, ladies and gentlemen, it's a tremendous honour and privilege for me to be captain of this Gowna team. Knocking around for a few years now, and I never thought I'd see the day that we come here and lift this cup on behalf of such a brilliant Gowna team. I'd like to thank Brendan and the county board here for their arrangements today. Everything was spot on. And the men in the restaurant and bar for sponsorship of this championship. I'd also like to thank Brian Cole for his refereeing today. He's top class referee in Cavan, and I hope he goes on to bigger things. There's a lot of people talking about the team of the 90s in Cavan. Ourselves and Kingscourt are equal up to today, but I think we have it now, boys. I'd like to thank our own sponsors, Cavan, Construction, our main sponsors. We've got everything we wanted all year, and all the minor sponsors for this final, and all throughout the year. Thanks very much. I'd like to thank our sub-chairman, secretary, Teresa. She's not the only woman secretary in the county. And all the other club members right down the line, very hard working. Members in our club. Thanks very much. On behalf of the team, I'd like to say a special thanks to the two medical men involved with us all year. We haven't an injured man come to finding after many games all year. But Billy and Matt, thanks very much, lads. To our management team, Jerry Brady was a new man on the selected this year. And to himself, Phil Riley, and Timmy Fitt. Thanks very much, lads. It was a hard job. I didn't forget about Eamon Coleman. Eamon has kept us together the last few years. He's been an inspiration as a team manager to us. And it's very hard to keep it going when you win a couple of times, lose a couple of times. But Eamon never lets up. He never gives us a break. And I'd say we wouldn't be here today only for Eamon Coleman. Thanks, Eamon. On my own behalf of the club, I'd like to thank all the players. We had a panel of 25 out here today, or 28 I think we are. And any one of those men could be playing today. The 15 or 17 have played. We don't know our luck lads that got playing here today, because them subs were every bit as good as we are. So I'd like to thank every one of them for our work throughout the year. Thanks very much, guys. Last but not least, I'd like to thank our great supporters who are here in strength today. Every time you were up the field, you could hear the roars today. So thanks very much to all our supporters. We'll just finish off the word of Kingscourt. We knew Kingscourt weren't going to die today at half time or any stage. That a mixture of experience to our team, and our heads were never going to go. The put it up to us to the very final whistle, and we just got away in the end. So let's give 3 cheers for the gallant Kingscourt team. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Thanks very much.
Just once again, we are now to finish the presentation of the man of the match. And once again, the section here is our sponsor, Declan Chairman from the Benedict. So just once again, congratulate and thank Declan. Over the last number of years, we have been the sponsor of all our camps here in town. So I now call on to make the presentation of the man of the match to Kingscourt Cavan Martin. So Kevin will come up and receive the reward here from Declan. The number of people who are asking me for the results of the last County final. I don't think it hasn't finished there yet, but I believe after the hour and 4 by 1 time, so we haven't the final result. The final result is a draw. Okay, right, ended in the draw.
Firstly, I'm going to talk to the sponsor of the championships. Declan, you've been sponsoring them now for a few seasons, and it's great to keep it going. Today, you're here again in strength, and I'm sure, like many others, you enjoyed yet another final.
Yeah, it gives me great pleasure to be involved in the sponsorship, especially with the 2 great teams here today. It was a great game, and both clubs down through the years have been great servants in providing inter-county players. 2 very strong clubs in the county.
Now, the game, it never really went on fire, but the last 5 or 6 minutes or so, it was very tense.
It was very tense. I actually thought at one stage it was going to be a draw, and a draw would have been a very fair result. I think both teams would have settled for a draw here today.
I think so. Declan, thanks for talking to me. Keaton Brady, it didn't end in a draw. It ended in a 1-point victory for Gowna. Yet another championship medal for the back pocket. You're smiling.
You always smile when you win a championship medal. That's 5 senior championship medals now that we won. Some would say over the years we should have won more, but I'm more than happy this evening to have my 5th championship medal in my back pocket.
Now, there was a time there in the last 5 or 6 minutes when the game was level, and forwards on both sides couldn't score. Up come Terry Harton, leading by example like a good captain does. That was a great score.
It was a great score by Terry. Terry played a captain's role for us today. Terry has always played senior football for Gowna probably for the last 15 years, and I'd say every year Terry kicks about 10 or 12 points for us from a wing half back position. That's what he's been doing over the years. He's a great man at it, and fair play. I was delighted for Terry to be lifting the cup there today.
Kieran, there's a lot of celebrating to be done around Scrabby. There'll be a little to be done before you get that far. I'll let you join the team.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for talking to me. Terry Harton, we've been talking about you, Kieran Brady and myself, and we were marvelling at that wonderful point coming on near the end. But it wasn't just that moment of magic, a marvellous performance right throughout. Now, the game, like I said, it never really got on fire, but it was always a tense, tight struggle.
It was indeed, Tommy, a very tight, tense struggle. We always expected it would be. Kingscourt's team was a bit similar to ours in ways in that they had the mixture of experience and youth. And the young fellas were never going to drop the head without when they had them experienced players in there through them. So we knew they'd be going to the right to the finish. But just we got it tight in the very end there.
I think there's going to be a few little gargles done in around Gowna tonight, and well, rightly so.
Oh, I'd say there'll be a couple all right. At this stage we know how to celebrate, so we'll be doing it again tonight, no doubt about it.
After all, that group of players are celebrating since under 12's up, and as I hope they keep going to the over 40s.
Well, some of us aren't that far away from it now, but hopefully they will keep going. Yeah, it's been a great group of players, a fantastic group to play with. The best of friends, every one of them have been on and off the field for years, and it's been a tremendous pleasure to captain them here today.
It's a pleasure talking to Terry Hart, and congratulations. Eamon Coleman. Eamon Coleman, a man who jointly led Derry to All-Ireland success. He knows all about winning. He knows all about winning. You know about the heartache of losing too. Your sympathy will go to Kingscourt.
Sympathy will go to Kingscourt. They put up a great fight, and we knew Kingscourt wasn't going to be any walkover. No team's a walkover in the county final. But it doesn't matter as long as you won the match. As long as you're a point in front of the finish, that's all matters. I have been involved in too many classics. Classic in '94 and Derry City, we lost by a point. Classic last year and Clonus, we lost it by a point. I said before the match, I said, boys, if we won this match, a point to nothing, and it's the worst game of football ever saw. That's all matters. It matters who, and we bring the cup into Gowna tonight.
Now, the younger players, Eamon, there was a lot of experience, and I noticed that in the second half, all the experienced players were drifted back behind the halfway line, and the younger players, particularly Gerald Pearson up front, great prospect.
Gerald Pearson is an excellent footballer, and the Cavan manager that couldn't pick Gerald Pearson on a county minor team, well, I don't know what you have to say to him. He must feel sorry for himself today, because if Gerald Pearson had been in Derry City against Derry, Cavan could have been Ulster champions.
So that's great praise for the youngster. Eamon, I know that the lads want to get away from here. They've had a long, hard year. Today, they've had a long, hard hour. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you.
We've already spoken to Declan Sheridan about sponsoring the championships. We now speak to Pat McGahern of Gowna Construction for quite some time now. He's been sponsoring Gowna. It's all worthwhile, Pat.
It surely has. It's been the sweetest of the lot today, because we should have had the game wrapped up much earlier on, and we let in Kingscourt for a good goal, I suppose. But we showed our true grit coming back in the end and hanging on. Even we lost a player 10 minutes from the end with no replacement. All our subs were used up, and we were able to hang on and win by a point, and that's what it's all about. Hard game, but a good game.
Kieran Brady said to me earlier on, you're used to winning championships. He has 5 senior medals. There's some young lads coming through. I think the way things are going, they're going to equal that.
I hope you're right. We certainly have still a lot of enthusiasm over there. We're a very small area, and there's a terrible amount of commitment to the fellas that are there, and the young lads coming on seem to be showing as much of an edge as so as long as that lasts and the young fellas keep coming through, we could be there for another number of years.
And while Pat McGahern keeps the sponsorship going, Pat, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Sean Kelly is with me now. Sean, I can only say commiserations. You've got to be disappointed. There was the possibility of another day out of it there. The lads in there, I've been to the dressing room, they're pretty devastated.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to fabulous effort this year, you know, and we came good at the right time. There's about 10 minutes to go. We leveled the game. We seemed to be on top. But Gowna's experience and the way they used the ball told in the end. Like they just didn't hold their heads down. They got the ball. They actually short passed in their own half, worked it into positions, got 2 frees in the end, which was really the difference, you know.
Now, both sets of forwards had the opportunity to hit a lead point. It fell to cornerback Terry Harton to do it. We've already spoken about that earlier on to the Gowna people. But Kingscourt, there was just that little slight difference in the last few minutes. Gowna, as you said, they put their more experienced players back behind the ball. But you've got a great squad coming on. Some great youngsters to blend with experienced players.
Always some very good young players, no doubt about it. Like, of that panel, 9 who were playing, 11 are under 21. Like, they're looking at a very strong panel. But undoubtedly, the loss of Pat Faulkner was a big loss, and Ryan McCormick, like 2 guys who've been scoring for us all year, and particularly Pat in the last couple of minutes when we needed a leader. Like, you know, he'd have made a big difference, I think, to us. But at the end of the day, you have to go out with what you have, and you have to win with what you have. And Gowna won, and fair dues to them.
Sean Kelly, it's a difficult time to come and talk to the likes of us here. Thanks for doing that.
No problem. Okay, thanks for that.
Bernard Morris, it has been a long, tough year, and today there was a long, tough hour. At the end of it, it's another championship medal. It's still worth it.
Yeah, that was probably the toughest game we had in a lot of years. Kingscourt were up for the game. Back over to show you favouritism. When the game starts, it's 15 against 15, and anything can happen. And fair play to Kingscourt, put it up the whole way to the very final whistle. And there's no more need to see the final whistle going than me.
Now, the last few minutes, you had to play it out with 14. The 3 subs were made. Cavan took a bad knock. And, well, at that stage, things weren't looking all that good. But like a true captain, Terry Harton lifted it.
Yeah. We've been down to 14 men before. And this team, we finished strong in every match we played this year. First half, we usually get very hard into it. Half time, Eamon gives a bit of a touch up. Second half, we come out and we lift our game, got a game with scruff in the neck, and we play far better second half than first half. But the match today, we played well the first half, but Kingscourt kept battling away at it. Then they got the goal at the right time, we lifted them and kept them in the game. Because we could have went 5 points ahead with Daisy's shot. Daisy just tipped the ball over the bar. We could have went 5 points ahead, and all of a sudden, 2 minutes, but 30 seconds later, the ball was in the back of the net. That's football.
That was the turnabout. But, well, experience, Bernard. We'd have to say experience won out in the end.
Well, in 93, Kingscourt beat us. We were the better team, but Kingscourt beat us by I think it was a point. And experience won it for them that day. And it has just come around that the experienced team, I think, won it today. We didn't lose our shape. We kept plugging away on our game plan. As you say, Terry Harton, what my work could ask from a captain to really get the point to really settle us down and win the game.
Just one thing, you told me that you finished with 14 men before. At times it was for different reasons though. Bernard Morris, congratulations on your victory. Enjoy the celebrations. Thanks for talking to me.
Thanks very much, Sammy.
So from Breffni Park in Cavan, when Gowna captured the last Cavan Senior Football Championship of the 20th century, Slán agus
Hold it tight now, don't get excited. Where's Sean McGahan?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to see such a crowd here tonight, showing your appreciation for the team. It's a late hour and I know that a lot of us have been waiting, and I'd like to thank the people who have come back here and organised this for us. But it's great to come back. I know it's only a pint win, but I tell you, it'd be a sad day if we were coming back here and losing me a pint. I'm delighted for the team and I'm delighted for the parish that we've done so well. Is Cavan here? And the work that they put in this year. After we were beaten in the championship last year, we agreed in the dressing room that we'd give it 110% this year, and that's happened. We've done 3 nights a week since January, and it's paid off. It may not have been the classic, but if we beat Crossman, then nobody will remember what the county final was like, and nobody will care. And that's what we should be aiming for now. To also thank any of the other clubs that are here tonight to show us support, and lots of them did, and I'd like to thank them for all the letters and cards during the week. But I think all the congratulations goes to the panel, and there was a large panel and they all gave 110%, and there's a lot of fellas very disappointed didn't get their place, but that's what it's all about, and I think that's because there was competition this year and it paid off. And I'd like to call on Eamon Coleman to say a few words on behalf of the team management, and on behalf of all you here, I'd like to thank the team again. Over.
And for them to celebrate, but all I have to say is that I want to see them back on the pitch on Wednesday night with a big match. With a big match in 2 weeks' time, and I believe this can be the year for Gowna. It doesn't matter about today or the performance. Nobody remembers in 2 weeks' time or 6 months' time who even played in the final. It's all about winning. There's nothing else matters. All for the team that takes home the cup. And this is what it's all about here tonight. We're going to enjoy ourselves for the next day and a half. Wednesday night, cup goes away and we get ready for the Ulster Club against Armagh. What could anybody want? This is a real challenge. What could any club want? The All-Ireland club champions coming to Cavan to play Gowna. I think that we should put away the cup tonight and get ready for it. But I'm not going to thank the players or anything like that because I think we have a good bit to go yet. We have a few more steps to go yet. We're not finished yet, and we'll leave all the thanking to that over. I'd just like to thank you people for coming out tonight. And we promised this a year ago. We have fulfilled our promise. That's one part of the road we're going, so we'll have to wait and see from here. Thanks very much.
On behalf of the team, I'd like to thank all our supporters today in there. It was great. I thought we'd be outnumbered, but it didn't seem from playing today that we were outnumbered at all. It looked like we had the majority of support there today. And the youngsters behind the goals with the flags and all. It was absolutely brilliant. So I'd like to thank our supporters dearly today. I'd like to thank John Mark that he was there for this year.